welcome back to, yes, you see my whole room, don't judge. Anyway, welcome back to Lala's World, and this segment is pretty much basically on WWE's presents Backlash. What is going on is now SmackDown and Raw has combined forces finally to go ahead and have a co-branded pay-per-view WWE event. Thank God, because the way, you got one brand, this pay-per-view, then another brand, this pay that was too much. And then the only time you see both brands together is either the four major events: SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and WrestleMania. Like, no, we need everybody to be united as one. Okay. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and get started with the kickoff. I didn't even know this match was happening until probably the day of, or a few days before, with Bayley and Ruby Riott from the Riott Squad. The Riott Squad came up to the Raw roster probably prior to after WrestleMania, and they out there kicking asses and taking names. So shout out to them. They've been doing their own thing even from the time they was in NXT. My thing is now with Bayley, she was talking to Sasha. She was like, hey, Sasha, let's be, I want you in my corner. Sasha was like, because now you probably going to go through what I went through. And Bayley was like, no, it's not like that. I was trying to help you out so you get back at them, what they did to you. Sasha's like, you know what, girl, you on your own. Figure it out. Now, Bayley was still holding her own until she got distracted by Liv Morgan, and she ended up losing. So it is a numbers game. So it's getting to the point now, like, Sasha and Bayley needs to, squash the little beef they got going on and reunite and try to take down the Riott Squad. But that match, all in all, was good. It wasn't trash, thank God. It was all in all, it was good. I'll give it like an 8. For the kickoff, it was all in all, it was good. Now and pretty much what happened was in Backlash, it wasn't that much matches going on. If I recall, no tag titles wasn't on the line. The only title that I remember was on the line was 2 of the women's championships. The Intercontinental Championship, the U.S. title was on the line. The WWE title was on the line. Obviously, Universal title was nowhere to be found. Who has that? Just saying, no shade. But anywho, the next match I do want to bring up was and it started off it was the first match that started off for Backlash, was between The Miz and also Seth Rollins. I mean, that match had me at the edge of my seat because both of them was just like, never say die. Like, The Miz, he felt like he had a lot to lose. Like, he was the one who made the Intercontinental Champion very prestigious and relevant, which that is true because, when he had it in his hands, it was like everybody knew, what the Intercontinental Championship is about, and this, that, and third. And he feel like, okay, also, he wanted to make his baby girl proud and also end up tying with Chris Jericho, 9-time Intercontinental Champion. And on top of that, there's no telling when he's going to have that opportunity again because now he's been drafted off to SmackDown. So, and with Seth Rollins, he's the Grand Slam champion. But at the same time, he felt like the way it looked like he was always so lost because after when he hurt his knee, he didn't know what to do with himself. Yes, granted, now he got a little oomph from taking down the King of all kings, Triple H. That's what he knows as a Kingslayer and, burning things down. But I think he felt like he needed more to accomplish because he still hasn't held the Universal title. So for him holding the Intercontinental title, that is a bigger push for him. And now that's making him the Grand Slam champion. So congrats to him. But that match... I was holding on by the edge of my bed because it's like Miz was just working on Seth's knee. And everybody who knows what happened to Seth Rollins with his knee, he had to get it repaired because it got hurt during a match. So it's like He was working on that knee, working on that knee. I'm talking about figure 4. 2 of his finishing moves that still didn't work out, and he still was trying to figure out how the hell he kicked out of those 2. But, you know, it took all the way to Seth Rollins to dig deep within himself and just prevail and end up retaining. So that match for that time being, especially being the beginning of the show, I will give that match like a 9, because we was not knowing where it was gonna go left with Seth Rollins or where it was going to go left with The Miz. Because like I said, The Miz was he was putting in that work. He was like, I'm going home with this title. I'm going home with this title. I might come back. I end up coming back to Raw, but nope. He didn't prevail. So I know, as he mentioned in the post show, now he is more focusing on the Money in the Bank, because he making sure that he wants to have history repeat itself when he cashes in and becomes WWE champion. However, he has to go through that qualifying match. So we gotta figure that out watching on SmackDown. Granted that, you know, props to him for The Miz. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. For The Miz to, you know, prevail and try to get that Intercontinental title, and he was like, you know what? Let me focus on Money in the Bank so I can go ahead and cash in and probably go ahead and, I don't know, become WWE champion. So hopefully he has to go through that qualifying match and we figure it out. See if he wins. So we got to wait and see until SmackDown. Now the next match I want to talk about, it really did not much catch my eye, was the match with Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton, because it looked like it was just a plain match that I would watch at SmackDown. So it wasn't that much of a oomph. So because of that, I will give this match like probably like a 6.5. I'm sorry. It wasn't there for me. So 6.5 for this match. As I recall, I think some people were like chanting CM Punk, or they were booing. It was just a whole hot mess. And obviously Backlash took place in Chicago, Illinois. So of course people's gonna chant CM Punk anytime they tap a pay-per-view event or any kind of event over there, because CM Punk is from Chicago. He used to be in WWE. They still respect the man. So it is what it is. That's the cookie crumbles. That's still not going to stop, I guess. Now, in addition, where you have the women's title match, the one I want to get started is the SmackDown Live women's title match with Carmella and Charlotte. Yo, Charlotte was putting in that work on Carmella. But Carmella's little self, she was trying to leave, and Charlotte was like, nah, I'm not having it. But what messed up Charlotte was her kneecap gave out. I said, oh, God, it's over. Carmella took advantage of that and, you know, once again, dethroned the queen. So with that match being said, they both did put in the work. I mean, even when Carmella was trying to put the code of silence, it still didn't work out for her. It was pretty much like what was said and done, that, hey, I still could overthrow you whether you like it or not. And it was a clean pin. So that match alone, I will give it like an 8. But I would give it an 8. All because it just kind of looked like also like a match like I would see on SmackDown Live at a main event. But the next match was the Raw. The one that's kind of like stole the show with the women's title was the one with the Raw Women's Championship, because it was kind of like, it hit home for me, where it was Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss, you know, decide, hey, I want a rematch. I want my belt back. She's going around telling people, oh, Nia Jax is a bully. She's using her weight around. You know, the little girl's salty. She's salty because she lost to Nia Jax. But before that, you know, you're calling Nia Jax names. You're just calling her every name in the book. But Nia Jax tend to prevail all that. And what happened was, the first time was that Nia Jax went ahead and was like putting in that work on Alexa Bliss. But I kid you not, this was another match that had me on the edge of my seat, because that's when Alexa Bliss decided to go ahead and say, nah, I'm going to aim low so you can get to my level. And lo and behold, what happened was that, I thought Alexa Bliss was going to really walk away and Nia was going to lose that night. But Nia Jax tended to, put in that work and held her own. And she tended to prevail. And her speech, I kid you not, her speech in the end, and I had to watch Backlash again. Not only for the sake of the fact that, and don't y'all judge me on this, that Sunday with, that match with Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, I tried to stay up for that match, but I had so much going on that day. My body just shut down. But we gonna get to that match because I was able to watch it again today, clearly in focus. But that speech she said, she was like, she did it for all the people that was bullied, at school, work. You don't have to change. You don't have to change for nobody. You don't have to change for no boyfriend. At first, I thought she was trying to take a dig at Alexa Bliss, because does everybody know she got her breasts redone, or she got bigger breasts, smaller breasts? I don't know. I thought she was trying to take a dig at her, but I don't think it was like that. I think it's like pretty much is like, she's trying to put the message out there saying like, hey, you don't have to change for anybody. Love yourself. If somebody bullying you, you stand up for yourself. And that's what happens in society these days. Like, people think like, oh, they want to swell up your chest at everybody. You want to be that little bully. It doesn't work like that. It does not. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to tell you this right now, it doesn't work out in your favor if you want to be that bully. If you want to be that person that you want to change for this person, that person, this person, that person, it's not going to work out your favor, baby. It's not. It's not. But all in all, that match, I will say I will give that match like an 8.5. Give it an 8.5. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this Shinsuke and AJ Styles match, shall we? This match was not even about no freaking title. This match was just like straight up personal business. It was just some unfinished business from, I will say, from the greatest Royal Rumble, because nobody didn't win. So they thought, okay, AJ put in the work, Shinsuke put in the work. They both duking it out each other. Bam, 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 bam. Here we go again with Shinsuke doing a low blow. Then AJ Styles went ahead and returned the favor. So you have that, but then they put in all these moves together, but then they decide to great minds think alike, and lo and freaking behold, guess what? They both kick each other in the balls. So nobody couldn't function. And even though it was a no disqualification match, but it ended in no contest. AJ Styles ended up retaining his title. So who says like next event he gonna go again? Or at SmackDown Live, AJ Styles gotta put his title on the line. It's just this feud, it's gotten real. It's gotten real, honey. It's gotten real. But these low blows, when is this gonna end? I mean, all in all, yes, this match was like, they was both putting in work, and this was another match I was getting out of my chair like, yo, okay, 1 minute you thought Shinsuke was gonna have it, then you thought AJ Styles was gonna win, and then you're like, bam, kick each other in the balls. There we go. So all in all, because of the ending, but they still was able to like wow me a little bit, I would say I will give this an 8.5 for this match. So I mean, they need to figure this out. These low blows, they need to somehow take it out the equation and fight like real men and stop low blowing each other, I guess. No pun intended. First and foremost, now we have the now let me bring this up. And I know everybody saw this in Backlash. I did not know there was gonna be some intermission or some musical. All I know, you have Elias in the ring. He's about to sing. He gets interrupted by New Day. We're like, okay, cool. Then New Day then afterwards, Elias was going to sing again. He gets interrupted by Aiden English. Yo, that dude can spit some bars and can sing. We have that. Then the biggest situation we had was No Way Jose with the conga line, and look who's with them. Titus O'Neil and freaking Breezango. I was so like done. Then they cut off the music. The lights cut off again. When the lights turn on, who you see is freaking Bobby Roode. When the lights turn on, gave Elias the business, because at that time on Raw, them two had a match. But the way that match ended, Bobby Roode couldn't continue because I think something happened. Like he hit a certain part of the turnbuckle very hard, so he couldn't finish the match. So pretty much it was just, return the favor to Elias. And then they ended with No Way, No Jose with the conga line. The funny part was Aiden English was going to join, but Rusev said, where you going, sir? He just stopped him dead in his tracks. So it was crazy. It was just hashtag like hilarious. So I think that was just like an intermission / musical going on. It was just crazy. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That match was pretty much that they wanted, pretty much Kurt Angle wanted to teach Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens a lesson, because they figured, they got their jobs back. They was going to do the same mess in SmackDown and start trying to, make Kurt Angle's life a living hell. So we're like, oh, word? Okay. This is what we're going to do. You're going to deal with the two biggest men in freaking WWE Raw roster and see if you got the balls and the mouth for them. Look what happened. They ended up getting their ass kicked. First of all, it happened to them the first time they was on Monday Night Raw. And I think they was in a tag team match with another set of people. Now you have just them two, Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. You're looking at them like they're the freaking Twin Towers. And Braun Strowman is just like bulldozing the crap out of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Then you have Bobby Lashley just like bulldozing the crap out of them too. And it was like, there's no way Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is going to win. It was so bad to the point like they were just tagging each other. Like Kevin Owens was trying to leave. Sami Zayn was trying to leave. Kevin Owens was like, no, you're going back in there. Sami Zayn was trying to, then afterwards, Kevin Owens was trying to leave. Sami Zayn put him back in there and left him in there to freaking get brutalized by Braun Strowman and freaking Bobby Lashley. And it was easy, 1, 2, 3. So not only these two freaking got bulldozer, but they got those hands. I'm sorry. And Sami Zayn thought he was slick. He was trying to leave because Kevin Owens got that beating. He got the beating too at the very end. So with that match, all in all, I would say I would give that match an 8 as well. Because not an 8, I would say a 9. Because I really enjoyed watching Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens suffer. I really did. Now let's talk about the David and Goliath match. And I'm talking about Big Cass and Daniel Bryan. And for some reason, deep down in my soul, I knew Daniel Bryan was going to prevail. Because once he has that yes lock, you're done. And that's what he did to Big Cass. He gave Big Cass the business, gave him that submission. But you know what happened? Big Cass, being the sore loser that he is, beat the mess out of him. And because of that, Daniel Bryan wasn't medically cleared, so he couldn't show up for the post show. I was like, oh, poor baby. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. So, all in all, that match was good. So, I will probably, like, the whole David and Goliath situation, where you can, like, Daniel Bryan showed, like, he could prevail over size doesn't matter. I will give that match, like, an 8.5. Pretty much. Now we can go ahead and talk about this Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns match. I remember I was texting, I remember I was texting my friend Shay. Because all I saw when Samoa Joe, because I watched it last night and then I had to watch it again because I missed some of it because literally I did fall asleep because my body was starting to shut down. I realized I'm not a spring chicken, so don't y'all judge me. I realized that when Samoa Joe was coming down the aisle, we're thinking, okay, ring the bell. This man did not give a chance for the bell to be rung. He was straight beating the mess out of Roman Reigns as if either, this is what I think, freaking Vince McMahon told Samoa Joe, like, that's his little enforcer, gave him like a freaking, you know those envelopes where you can put like mad money in there, like a stack of bills in there? He probably gave him a stack of bills in that envelope and said, yo, you know what to do. End that, because Roman Reigns talks too much. That's what he did. He put him as an enforcer, because he was just straight giving him the business. Beep, 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 beep. Throwing him over the table, then another table. It was just a mess. The referee was like, hey, hello, hey, can we get the match started? Like, he was just like, oh my God. It was just a mess. Then by the time we got the bell to ring, it was just Samoa Joe. It was just like straight beating the crap out of Roman Reigns. He was just telling Roman Reigns, we could end this now. You know, you just go away. I was like, yo, why is he talking like that? That is a no-no. I remember texting my friend Shay's like, yo, Samoa Joe is wilding, yo. Like, where's the cops? What is we doing? And what happened literally was like, yo, Samoa Joe was straight just giving the business to Roman Reigns. Like, he wanted to make sure, like, by the time he wakes up, he's going to remember him. He wanted to have that bragging rights to come back to SmackDown. I was just like, oh my God. But then, all of a sudden, Roman Reigns dug deep, was putting in that work. Then Samoa Joe got him again. And it was like, yo, the maximum hits between Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe won for the most hits during that match. But for some goddamn reason, out of nowhere, we're talking about Superman punch. And Roman Reigns, this man had to dig deep because he did not want to come back to Monday Night Raw as a loser. He didn't want to do that. Not whatsoever. Like, who wants to come back to Raw again as a loser? He lost in WrestleMania. He lost at the Greatest Royal Rumble. So imagine you're coming back to Raw from Backlash, losing. That's 3 times in a row. He don't want that mess. He did not. No, he did not. So this is what he did. He dug deep inside his soul and gave it all he got. He speared a man. 1, 2, 3. He go about his business because it was like, and mind you, this man's body has been through a lot. So I don't think he had the whole proper time to heal. Because if you think about it, WrestleMania was on April 8th. Then you have the Greatest Royal Rumble. I'm going to say it was on the 27th. So from the 8th to the 27th, that's kind of a little bit too short for your body to heal. And then from the 27th all the way to yesterday, that's really, really short. So this man didn't even have time to heal like that because he still had to show up on Monday Night Raw day in and day out, put in that work. I mean, it kind of like reminds me of somebody, me, you know, putting in that work at my day job, but, you know, just saying, no shade. And he ended up prevailing. So with this being said, where both of them had a motive, Samoa Joe's motive was he wanted to have some bragging rights. He wanted to shut Roman Reigns up. He wanted to go back to SmackDown Live and say, hey, when I'm done with him, I am coming for everybody on the SmackDown Live roster. Except for the girls. So it's like, he had motive. Roman Reigns did not want to come back to Raw as a loser. Because I'm telling you this right now, he probably was looked at as a loser. Everybody said, yo, Brock Lesnar has freaking Roman Reigns' number. Oh, Samoa Joe wanted to be the next one down the line. Oh, he gonna have his number too. But it didn't work. So now with that being said, Roman Reigns could come back to Raw, which is today, and say, hey, I won. Now I can go back and get the Universal title and be more focused. So, till then, with that match, I will give it like a 9. Just because it was, like with me, I thought it was all over for Roman Reigns, but it wasn't. So, that's good. He come back to Raw in one piece. Now he got to worry about getting that Universal title. Now, till then, everybody who are wrestling fans like me, This is your girl Lala from Lala's World, and you guys have a good day. Bye.